Welcome to Mr. Giant Reacts a Ting a Ting a Ting. I'm Mr. Giant, and today we're going to be watching Top 10 Canadian Snack Foods America Wish They Had. And I am not American, so I'm probably going to wish I had it too. Let's go into YouTube and Sim and see what kind of goodies Canada have to offer up.
Canada! There's more to Canada than just hockey and Tim Hortons. Our neighbors to the north have lots of great things to offer, especially in the snack department.
Canada has everything. It's the greatest country on earth.
So let's take a road trip and discover the top 10 Canadian snack foods America wished they had.
Your
Yeah.
favorite Canadian dessert, the chocolate mousse. Can I cut you an antler?
Caramel.
Try the caramel, it's delicious.
These soft vanilla sponge cakes wrapped in chocolate and filled with caramel and cream are a national treasure. Invented in Quebec by the Vachon family, who, after working on their farm for 25 years, borrowed $7,000 to start a bakery in 1923. They started by selling bread and brioches, and today, the popular caramel-filled pastries. Vachon went on to become a household name in Canada while making other popular lines of sweet pastries. In 1999, Saputo Inc., another Canadian success story and the makers of cheese and dairy products, purchased Vachon, and most recently it was purchased by Mexican company Grupo Bimbo. It is nice to think that maybe Canadians would want to keep this in the family, but the truth of the matter is they are in direct competition with other U.S. brands, such as Hostess, who sell similar cakes. Vachon also manufactures Hostess products under contract in Canada, but that is why you will never see Vachon cakes sold in the U.S. market, as they will be in direct competition with each other. These days, there have been complaints from Canadian consumers that the cakes no longer taste the same. Apparently, the recipe has changed to taste more like the American cakes, and Canadians are not pleased.
Canada on strike.
See, man, I was all excited there and thing, to try it up and thing, and then they had to come up with that last part there. But I love me some caramel. I love me some caramel.
Canada says no more.
Even with the recent changes, the caramel remains a Canadian snack food we would all want to try. Ruffles All-Dressed Chips. Ruffles All-Dressed Chips are a Canadian flavor of the ruffled crinkle-cut potato chips marketed by Frito-Lay. Even though Frito-Lay Inc. is an American subsidiary of PepsiCo in the U.S., Ruffles All-Dressed Chips are purely a Canadian invention
that's so-
and are sold only by Frito-Lay Canada.
Frito-Lay or Frito-Lay right there.
In fact, there are many Ruffles flavors unique to Canada. The all-dressed chips flavor goes as far back as 1978, when they were invented by two brothers, Paul Jalbert and Louis de Gonzague. They were the owners of Yum Yum Chips in Quebec. They jokingly mixed a melange of barbecue, salt and vinegar, sour cream and onion, and ketchup chip flavors together to create this unique seasoning blend. The flavor was actually launched 37 years before Ruffles released its own version. Ruffles also has other popular flavors such as sour cream and onion and ketchup, which is in Canada only, of course. All dressed chips are purely decadent and a problem solver when you can't decide which flavor you want. The all-dressed chip will be around for a while in Canada, as it is one of the most popular flavors, along with ketchup. Only in Canada, eh? A quintessential Canadian snack.
Okay, now, whew, that sounds good. I'm not a chip person because it's kind of basic as far as I'm concerned here. The only chip I like eating is Doritos, and it's got to be is it the ranch style? I think it is. Yeah, you know what I mean. But I'll try that vibe there, and all dressed, all dressed. I'll try it.
Americans do not know what they are missing.
Duke Kaboom, Canada's greatest stuntman. Oh yeah.
Maple spread. There's no question that Canadians sure do love their maple products, so it would be fitting that they have a spread named after the pride of the country. Mapo spread, short for maple spread, is a delicious, super sweet compounded sugar spread that is only available in Canada. It's excellent on toast, pancakes, waffles, and for making traditional Canadian desserts. A favorite old-time product for many Quebecers, where it originated in 1917. Mapo Spread was invented by Ernest Carrier of Carrier Foods, who, in turn, sold this popular spread to J.M. Smuckers in 1989. Incidentally, although this product is called Mapo Spread, it does not contain an ounce of maple syrup.
What?
And it's just purely sugar, glucose, fructose, artificial colors,
Oh,
and flavors.
man.
Maple syrup is the nectar that runs through Canada's veins.
What do you think is coursing through my veins right now?
Sugar shacks, maple forests, and wintertime fun is the image of Canada to a lot of the world. Quebec produces 70% of the world's maple syrup, so it is strange that a product made
Yeah.
there contains no natural maple at all. It's almost fraudulent. Mapo Spread will probably never see the light on the US market because of reasons regarding supply chain, production capacity, and distribution. It will remain exclusively a Canadian and Quebec product of yore. Hickory sticks.
Eat hickory.
Hickory sticks were created by those chip-loving people at the Canadian Hostess Potato Chips Company. The Hostess Company began in 1935 when Edward Snyder began making chips on his mother's kitchen stove in Ontario to make a little extra money. Hostess eventually made it to the top as one of Canada's premier chip brands. The company then lost their position due to brand erosion in the 90s. The brand was taken over by Lay's in 1996 as part of a major rebranding.
You know, I'm seeing a trend here. It seems like it's the same company that's taking everything and just making it their own and selling it, and then some of them changing the damn recipe. I want to taste authentic Canadian stuff, man. Doesn't mean I ain't gonna try it because it's not here, but you know what I'm saying.
And the hickory sticks are one of the only Hostess products still on the market and in production. In the US, Hostess brands are the makers of Twinkies, Ding Dongs, Cupcakes, and Zingers, which are totally unrelated to our favorite spuds. Hickory sticks
All of which
are
I don't
fine
eat.
little julienne potato sticks with an addictively smoky flavor. This snack is a cross between French fries and chips, but they never made it to the US market and probably never will. For the same
I'll
reasons
try that.
many of the other popular snack foods remain in Canada. Conflicts and direct competition with similar brands and products. They are still a favorite in Canada to this day, even with their unglamorous brown packaging. Hickory sticks have survived the test of time and still have quite a cult following.
You joined this cult willingly.
McCain Deep and Delicious Cake. For those not in the know, McCain Foods Limited is a Canadian frozen food company established in 1957 in New Brunswick. It is the world's largest manufacturer of frozen potato products. McCain Foods entered the U.S. market more than 30 years ago and is a leading supplier of frozen spuds and frozen pizza in America.
And that's a Joe Exotic prize.
What McCain's does not sell in the U.S. is a famously delicious pan sheet cake called Deep and Delicious
That look
is
good.
only available in Canada. If you are a chocolate lover, you will love this cake.
I love chocolate.
It is super moist, and the icing is super sweet and deliciously creamy. Just pull it out of the freezer, and in less than 5 minutes, you have a quick dessert to please any guest. Of course, you can also eat it by yourself in just one sitting. We won't say anything. McCain's Deep and Delicious cakes have been a fixture in Canada since the late 80s. Every kid loved this one growing up. This moist cake is available in chocolate, vanilla, and marble, topped with sweet icing. It comes in a metallic aluminum foil tray with a resealable plastic dome lid. But because McCain's in the U.S. also owns and sells Sara Lee cakes,
Okay.
McCain Canada does not want to be in direct competition with
Okay, I'll be honest, man. I eat up some Sara Lee cheesecake. That's the only thing I eat. You know, I eat some unhealthy stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, that cheesecake stuff. But I only buy it like once every 5 months or something like that. I really don't eat it a whole lot. But you know what I mean? That cake I see there, you know, whoo-wee, that cake look good. The marble one. No, that sounds interesting. You know, that's one thing. When I hopefully I start traveling again soon, I'm gonna try stuff when I go places. You know what I mean? Even if people go ugh, and turn their nose up, I'll try it. You know what I mean? Would it be a habit? No, but I'll try stuff.
Themselves. Therefore, McCain Deep and Delicious Cakes will never see the light of day on American tables.
That looks
Kraft
good.
Peanut butter. Peanut butter has become one of life's sweet food staples, unless you're allergic, of course. Popular in many countries worldwide, and especially in America, the U.S. is the leading exporter of peanut butter. Americans also consume close to $800 million of peanut butter a year. While there are plenty of varieties of peanut butter brands available, Canadians swear that Kraft peanut butter is definitely better than anything on the American market. Kraft peanut butter is most recognizable because of the two cute teddy bears on the label. Kraft peanut butter has been a fixture for over half a century on the Canadian market. Canadians truly trust in this brand more than any other. For a while, Americans got the Kraft peanut butter minus the teddy bear logo. It was sold in yellow labeled jars with yellow lids and had the Kraft name on them. But because of a trademark disagreement with another company who produces the same product using similar packaging, they were no longer able to sell the yellow cap lids of peanut butter in U.S. stores. Nonetheless, for Canadian Kraft peanut butter lovers, there is no comparison. It may have had the Kraft name, but it tasted completely different.
You get that peanut butter and jelly sandwich!
Since the
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I am absolutely not a peanut butter fan. Good Lord, it's been about 3 years since I eat peanut butter. I'm not, and I'll tell you why. When I first came to this country, I was at college to play basketball, right? Skinny, 147 pounds. But that was because of my diet. My diet had like nothing that would bloat me up at all. It was mainly fish and vegetable, lots of provisions like roots and stuff like that we eat on the island. I wasn't a meat eater. I definitely didn't eat fatty foods or nothing like that. So when I came here, they tried to fatten me up. And one of the ways they tried to fatten me up was peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day. I don't even eat the jelly anymore because of it. There's so much of that stuff. So no, I'm not a peanut butter fan whatsoever. You know what I mean? I can't handle it. Just can't.
U.S. market is flooded and dominated with other peanut butter brands, Kraft has backed away from the U.S. market for now. Maybe if they tried again using the bear packaging instead. Who doesn't love cute, cuddly-looking bears?
Oh, come on. I do not sound that much like Peter Griffin.
Hawkins Cheesies. Relatively obscure Hawkins Cheesies are not a household name, especially in the U.S. Why would they be when there are Cheetos, Utz, and Planters? Do Americans really need another brand of cheese puff? But our friends to the north have a different opinion.
We're gonna mop the floor with you. We're gonna put the boots to you. Sorry.
Hawkins Cheesies are super crunchy and really cheesy. Similar to Cheetos, they are a more vibrant orange, tangy, and are made with real aged cheddar. These Canadian cheesies were actually created in Chicago after the Second World War by two Americans named James Marker and W.T. Hawkins. Once they perfected their recipe, they moved their operation to Ontario, Canada in the 1950s and set up shop. Although invented by Americans, they are not sold in the U.S., but Canadians swear that they are truly one of a kind. Hawkins Cheesies are still manufactured by the same family using the original machine made by their inventors. The U.S.
I think I've eaten these before, and because I'm getting a memory taste in my mouth, because the cheesies here does not taste like what I've eaten before, and I didn't eat much of that on the island. So I might have eaten that before, and I think there's a distinct different taste to it. But I can't remember where I've eaten it.
may have an endless array of cheese puffs and cheese balls, but without a passport, you will never find out how good these delightfully crunchy cheese
And they
puffs
look like
really
what it
taste.
is.
There are even rumors that U.S. border agencies have blocked the product from getting into the States. It has something to do with a Cheetos fiasco that took place a while ago.
This ain't over.
The country has even slapped a tax on the product by listing it as a cheese product instead of a snack. so tariffs are much higher. Maple leaf cookies. Maple leaf cookies are a Canadian sandwich cookie shaped like a maple leaf. Makes sense, right? The maple leaf is the national symbol of Canada, and this cookie is filled with another proverbial Canadian favorite, maple-flavored cream. Several Canadian companies produce them, mostly for the domestic market, although they do have a small cult following in the US.
No, it's not a cult, Frank.
And it is not only the expats who are loving these cookies. Maple leaf cookies originated in the province of Quebec some 114
Wow.
years ago. The originator of these maple cookies is a company called Leclerc, but Dare also makes maple leaf cookies, which are now available in the US, but with different packaging. They can be commonly found on the East Coast. The cookie and the cream centers are actually made using real maple syrup.
What?
They are super sweet, and only a few can be eaten at a time before your teeth start hurting. There's a reason why the maple leaf is on the Canadian flag.
You won't believe some of these proposals. Look at this one. And this.
Joe Louis. Joe Louis is another snack cake that was invented by the Quebec-based Vachon Company in the 1930s. Named after two of the owner's sons, Joseph and Louis, and not Joe Louis, the American boxer, this mini cake is made of 2 chocolate cake rounds, filled with rich vanilla icing in the center and covered in milk chocolate. For many Canadians born in the 60s and 70s, this was a familiar snack packed in many school lunchboxes daily. Today, this would be considered blasphemy and really not conducive to healthy eating. How times have changed.
It's legal now.
The Joe Louis is a true Canadian classic, along with the May West and the Ah Caramel. They can be found in all major convenience and grocery stores across Canada, but not in the USA. Sold in individually wrapped portions or in a box format, it is very similar to one of America's favorite snack cakes, the Ding Dong.
Oh, you were expecting a joke there. Too easy.
The Joe Louis actually predates the Ding Dong. As you can surmise, because of competition with Hostess, Joe Louis can't be found in the US and probably will never make an appearance. But you can always order them online. Ketchup chips. Americans love ketchup. They put it on everything. Ketchup on fries? Great. Ketchup on a burger? Yum. Ketchup chips? Well, not so much. For some reason, ketchup chips are more of a Canadian quintessential snack.
Hey.
For many Canadians, it's the perfect blend of tomato and vinegar, with a tangy sweetness all together in one bag.
You're welcome.
Looks
Canada.
interesting.
Many Americans that have tasted them find them repelling. The ketchup chip has a complicated history. Invented in the 70s, the ketchup chip came about when Hostess Canada, now Lay's, created a line of some odd flavored chips, which included some fruit flavored options.
Canada, you did it again. You even found a way to ruin this.
Not surprising, the weird flavors did not stick. But the ketchup flavor did stand out as a fan favorite with most Canadians. Americans tried to emulate this south of the border, but only in limited or special edition attempts, which failed to garner any enthusiasm, so they have been discontinued entirely. While the concept may have spread out into the US, it hasn't caught on in the same way it has in Canada, where ketchup chips have become a national treasure in their own right.
See, I'm hungry now.
Ketchup for ultras?
Go ahead and tap on one of our other great videos. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join our notifications.
You know, it's interesting how you go to different countries and they have similar products, but it's named differently and the ingredients are sort of different. Maybe slight, but still different. You know what I mean? I did a video of, what was it, Ireland? And they had 2 of their famous crisps, they call them, I do believe, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the good thing about traveling, you know, you go to a convenience, oh, I haven't seen that before, let me try that. But apparently you could get it offline, so I'll be shopping offline to get some of that stuff, you understand what I'm saying? But thank you all for watching this with me. I'm hungry now, so, you know, I'm gonna go grab a bite and thing, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go fix some food and eat up and thing. Hope you guys have a good day. I'll leave a link in the description to this video. You all take care of each other, alright? Cool runnings.